Hello my friends and welcome to the Easter egg guide for CITADELLE in Black Ops 6 Zombies. If you enjoy this one, leave a like, subscribe for more. Let's go ahead and jump straight into this. So when we first get into the map, what we're going to want to do is open up the Pack-a-Punch, which is going to require going over to this location here. You're going to shoot the 3 locks. There's going to be the big monster guy that's going to spawn. We're going to go ahead. We're going to destroy him. Once we destroy him, he's going to drop a red crystal. Basically, we're going to go ahead, we're going to insert it there. We're going to have the Pack-a-Punch that's unlocked. Once we've unlocked the Pack-a-Punch, we're going to head back to the previous room over here. And when we're in this previous room, we're going to go behind the quick revive here. And again, this is just kind of from where we were. We're going to go ahead, we're going to open up this, and we're going to talk to the mysterious Craft, who is just kind of sitting in this cell. There's going to be a bunch of dialogue. Let it go ahead and play it through, as this is important to kind of kick things off. So at this point, once he's done his dialogue, we're going to have the ability basically to get the amulet and find all these different things and all that stuff, yada yada. We're also going to have these symbols that appear on the floor, these traps. So all these different things have basically unlocked from just talking to him and opening up the Pack-a-Punch and all that good stuff. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be crafting all 4 of the elemental swords. We're going to need all 4 elemental swords for what we're going to be doing. Now, I've already made a guide on all of the elemental swords. I am going to insert that guide in this video just so it's all in one place as well. But if you do want to skip that part, there's going to be timestamps down in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the next section for the next like 18 minutes or so, which is going to be building the 4 different elemental swords. And we're going to need all 4 in order to do this Easter egg, because then there's 4 other things we got to do with the swords, and it's just going to be some crazy stuff. So let's go ahead and do that right now. First things first, you gotta have everything unlocked in the game. You're gonna eventually see these guys right here with a bucket on their head. They're gonna start spawning after you've unlocked the Pack-a-Punch and all that. Now, once they start spawning, you're going to see that they're going to drop this little thing called a stamp. You're going to pick up the stamp, and you're going to go into this courtyard right here. Now, in this courtyard, you can see, I'm going to show you on my tack map right here. It's where the vulture raid is. In this courtyard, you're going to find 4 statues. There's going to be one right here, which is going to be, let's just say the deer. I think it's a deer. We're going to have one right here, which is just like a normal knight, or you can call it the bird, I guess. There's going to be one right here, which is the lion, and then one right here, which is going to be the dragon. There's going to be 4 different swords. Now, the base swords are all going to perform the exact same way, but to upgrade them, you're going to have to do it in a very specific thing. For example, there's going to be a pedestal we're going to put the sword for the dragon into. It has to be the dragon sword right here. It can't be any of the other swords, if that makes sense. So if we're going to upgrade the lion sword, we have to grab the lion sword from this guy right here, and so on and so forth. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, to actually be able to get these guys that start spawning to have the buckets on their head to drop the stamps, you just basically unlock the Pack-a-Punch area, and you should be pretty much good to go. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this. We're going to start with the dragon one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the dragon one. I have a stamp. I'm going to interact with the statue. He's going to present the sword to me, and I'm going to have the sword. It's going to be the base sword. It's going to be replacing your dedicated melee slot. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm just going to exit that little area, and I'm going to go right here. There's going to be a dragon pedestal. I'm going to interact with it. For me on PlayStation, it's going to be the square button. And that's going to be it. It's going to basically activate. And there's going to be 3 fiery cauldrons that we're going to have to bring fire to. The first one's going to be over here, right by the cannon. It's the closest one. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to interact with it. And we have a time limit. So you can see our health is going to be going down. We're going to basically slide into any zombies to regain health. We're going to bring it up here. And then we're going to just deposit it with the interact button again. From here, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly where to go. We're going to be going back to the spawn location. So there's going to be 2 different areas. I'm not going to cut any of this, just to show you guys exactly where to go from the dragon pedestal, in case, you know, it is confusing. Like I said, I'd rather be a little bit more thorough and show you guys, you know, not make anything confusing for you guys as much as I can. So we're in the spawn area. This is where we spawn. There's going to be a cauldron tucked away in this corner. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. If at any point you want to release it, you can release it by pressing triangle or whatever that's going to be for you on your button. I'm going to slide into some zombies, and that's going to give me some health again. I'm going to keep running here. There should be always a zombie that spawns in this little corner here. I'm going to slide back up here. I'm going to deposit this one. That's going to be the second one down, and I just got 1 more cauldron to go. There's going to be 3, and then we're going to be getting the fire sword, the dragon sword. So right here, this is going to be on the other side of spawn. I'm just going to open up this door. This is going to be the easiest way to get this one here. And if I make my way all the way to the bottom of this path right here, literally where you would come in from spawn. So if you have this gate open, this is where spawn would be. I'll show you guys real quick. There's the spawn statue right there, and we were just at that cauldron over there. So I'm going to grab this one here. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to run up. I'm going to run into some zombies in order to maintain my health. You can see that it spawns those purple-eyed zombies, the ones that are just kind of disposable zombies, if you will. There's one right here I can grab, so I'm going to slide into them. I don't want to flip the round, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deposit it. You're going to see that the dragon is going to keep breathing all of the fire onto the sword, and I can walk up to the sword right there. You can see it. The sword is ready to go. We're going to grab it. It's called the Caliburn sword. Now, when it's charged, our special attack is going to be L2 and R2 together. So you can see what it does when I do L2 and R2. It's pretty cool. It throws like kind of like 3 catapults, fireballs, if you will, and then you just got to recharge it. And if you try doing L2 and R2 at the same time when it's not charged, it'll just tell you it's not fully charged. You just got to kill some zombies. You can see that it just melts through zombies. Of course, you can, like, you know, block and parry. It is a little bit of a risky weapon, the swords, but anyways, we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna continue. You can see how this one worked. Again, you've seen what the special looked like, and we'll do the other 3 swords. All right, so the next one we're going to be doing is going to be the lion sword, which is going to be right to the left of the dragon one. So we're going to do the lion one. We're going to grab the sword here. Again, we have to get a stamp. We got to pick it up, and that's going to be that. And what we're going to be doing is there's going to be 4 yellow parasites that are going to be spawning pretty much every single round. And we're going to have to go to a very specific place and kill those parasites, which is going to be in the upper village. So if you follow my path right here, we're going to be going all the way over here. This is going to be the upper village right here. There's going to be an underpass. You just walk past the speed cola. Right here is the underpass. And there's going to be a door right here that has a lion head on it. We're gonna have to kill 4 parasites here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my teammate to flip the round, and we're gonna be trying to kill 4 parasites in this underpass. All right, guys, so you can see that there's these yellow parasites right here, so I'm gonna kill them. That's gonna be 2. I'm gonna hit the door. There's gonna be a ruin that spawns. I'm gonna try really hard not to die. I'm gonna actually activate my Aether Shroud here, and I'm gonna try to do this the old-fashioned way. So there's another one. What happened is what you need to do is kill 1 at a time, and I killed 2 at a time. So try not to kind of kill them all. So I'm gonna have to actually flip the round again in order to get the rest of my runes. So if that does happen to you, just flip the round and get the rest of your runes. Try to do it 1 at a time. So you sword the parasite, and then you sword the door. You sword a second parasite, you sword the door, and so on and so forth. All right, so I got the parasites to spawn once again, and you can see the difference, right? There's 2 parasites right here, actually, to show you guys the difference. So one is glowing yellow, and one is just normal. I might die, but one is normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kill the yellow one. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go under the underpass again. I'm gonna hit the last time on the door, and now we can actually go ahead and open the door. Give me 1 second. Okay, so once all 4 ruins are on this door, you're gonna see that the lion's actually gonna be glowing. We're gonna go ahead, interact with it, and it's gonna let me inside of this little kind of cavern area. There's going to be a couple zombies probably in here. You can go ahead and slice them up. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to place it in this pedestal. Once we do that, you're going to see there's going to be 4 symbols, okay? So there's going to be 4 symbols we're going to have to shoot in the order. So the first one's going to be this one right here with the little kind of dot in the middle. So if I'm looking around here, they're just kind of floating all over the place here. So we got to look for them. There's going to be one there. So dot in the middle is going to be that one right there. So I'm going to shoot that one. I do have zombies that are still apparently spawning on me down here, which kind of sucks. Then it's going to be the snowflake. So I'm going to look for the snowflake. The snowflake I just seen it a second ago. Right there. So I'm going to shoot the snowflake. That's going to be the second one. And then looking at the front, the next one's going to be like the triangle with the kind of 3 little lines. And again, this is going to be different, most likely for each person. So you can see that one's right there. And then the last one is going to be, if I can kill these guys here. The last one is going to be the circle with kind of the line through it right there. So I got that one right there done. And that should be it. The sword is going to kind of power up. You're going to see that it's going to fully power up and go ahead and grab it. It's Solaris, how you pronounce it. And this is going to be the second sword, which is, I guess, the lion solar sword. The special, as you can see, creates this kind of like barrier around me that allows zombies to not like touch me. They're just going to die on impact. It doesn't last very long, but that is the special for it. Also, by the way, if you're wondering how to know when it's kind of like ready for the special, the sword will glow a little bit more strongly. So, and again, besides that, the sword acts kind of typically how you would expect it to act for the most part, except it has that kind of solar light ability now. So anyways, that's the second one. That's the lion done. Let's continue. We got 2 more swords to go. All right, so for the next sword, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting the Stag one, the electric one, which you can actually see I already have. I'm going to be throwing up B-roll and screen to show you guys exactly what takes place, but we're going to grab the sword from this knight right here, and there's going to be 3 rods that we're going to have to get. Now, one of the rods is going to drop randomly from a zombie, and that's going to end up spawning right down here. So in the speed cola room, This is kind of like the prison room. You're just going to kill zombies down here, and eventually the rod should drop from one of the zombies, and that's just going to be pretty much that. Now I actually don't have footage of that happening, but I've done it like twice now, and it's been pretty consistent for me that this is where it drops. Again, it's just kind of random once you've I think it's once you've grabbed the actual sword, but it might just drop randomly once you've actually opened up like the pack punch and all that as well. So that's going to be the first rod. There's going to be 2 other rods that we're going to have to get. So making our way from here, we're going to kind of trek back over here, and we're going to need 2 different things. First thing we're going to need is dead wire on our weapon. So we're going to get, not our sword, of course, we're going to get dead wire on our normal weapon, which you can get, of course, here at the arsenal. So I'm going to go over here. Basically, I'm going to use the arsenal. I'm going to get dead wire. Now, again, I've already done this in this footage, but I'll throw it up on screen right here. So for the second coil, we're going to be going down over to Speed Cola. Once we get down to Speed Cola over here, there's going to be an electrical box they're going to be shooting with dead wire. So it's going to be right here. There's going to be an electrical box right here. You're going to shoot this. Electricity is going to fly up the wires there, and the coil is going to shoot out of there. It's going to fall on the ground. You're going to go ahead, you're going to pick it up, and that's going to be pretty much good to go. So again, this is good right to the like right of Speed Cola. If you're facing Speed Cola, it's going to be like in this little underpass over here, kind of towards that. You're going to shoot this electrical box right there with the dead wire equipped on your weapon, and that's going to be the second coil. So from there, we're going to go from Speed Cola, and we're going to head over to the other side. And what we're going to be doing once we get to the other side is we're going to be going over to where the Deadshot Daiquiri perk is, and directly to the left of the Deadshot Daiquiri perk is where you're going to find the next one. So you're going to go to the Deadshot Daiquiri perk, and to the left of like these wooden boxes in the corner, you're going to see it there. It kind of looks a little bit dark, so just go up to it, interact with it. You're going to have all 3. And at this point, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making our way back up to the castle. So we're going to go up to the castle. And if we kind of go up the stairs and go over to the left, kind of towards where Elemental Pop is, and then go through this door here, you can see there's going to be a little sort of, I don't know what you call it. It's like a metal kind of vase looking thing. And you're going to basically you're going to interact with it, and it's going to put the coils in here. Now, if you do end up failing, I ended up actually dying the first time because my teammate was a little bit further than me than I anticipated, and my sword wasn't doing much damage because it wasn't upgraded yet. If you do end up dying, the coils are just going to fall on the ground. You're going to pick up the coils off the ground, put them back in. And what you're going to want to do basically is you're going to just stand here with your sword out. Now this is going to obviously be best on earlier rounds, or if you have something to like decoy grenades or something, or a teammate to help you out. My teammate was helping me out in this case, and so you're going to wait for your sword to get hit by lightning, and then once it's glowing kind of blue with lightning, you're going to slash the cauldron or whatever you call this thing, the metal vase where the coils are in. You're going to slash it, and you're going to do that 3 times. Now you just wait here. Eventually the lightning will hit it. It does take a little while. It's very RNG, and it's going to happen a second time once it's lit up on light. Your sword is full of lightning. You're going to hit the metal cauldron thing with the rod sticking out of it a second time, and you're gonna do it a third time. Once you do it a third time, you're then going to interact with the metal thing. You're going to basically put your sword into it, and then it's going to take just like maybe like 5 seconds or whatever, and then it's going to give you the actual upgraded sword, which you could then interact again, take the sword out, and now you have the elemental sword, which is really cool. It basically fires like a laser beam of electricity, and of course when you swing it, whatever, it swings electricity, which is really cool. So that's the third sword, and we only have 1 more left to go. Okay, so for the final sword, we're going to be grabbing the Raven sword, which is going to be right here. It's going to be the guy that has the Raven on him. It's on this corner right here. If you're looking there, right here. And we're actually going to go into this room right behind him. In this room, there's going to be multiple spawns. There could be one on the table. There could be any of these shelves. What we're going to be looking for is this right here. It's going to be a trophy, and the trophy is going to have a bone, and that bone is going to be different depending on, depending on your game. Every game is going to be different. So you're just going to go, you're going to interact with it. You can see that I got the antiquity bone that I've picked up. And again, it's going to be different. And I'm going to explain shortly what that means. What if you have a different bone? What do you do? Anyways, we're going to explain that in just a second. There's going to be different combinations for like this code that we're going to have to crack depending on which bone we have. It gets a little bit complicated. People have over on Reddit have figured out many different combinations. I figured out 1 or 2 myself. And so combined together, we should have pretty much all the solutions for you. So just bear that in mind. What we're going to be doing is going to the spawn area right here in the tavern. We can either go down here or we can go down that way. Like, so if I go through here, there's stairs here as well. So there's 2 ways to get in here. And what we're going to be doing is going up to this right here. Now, when we go up to this, we're going to interact with it. It's going to put the bone in the middle here. And there's going to be many different bones that we're going to basically have. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think, different potential ones you can get. And then you're going to interact with it again, and that's going to place your sword in the pedestal. Now, what the green symbols are basically elements, and what the blue symbols are basically zodiac signs. So let me kind of explain the gist of how this works. Now, where you want to line them up is actually going to be in the bottom. You actually see the green little arrow pointing up here. So this is where the symbols are facing upright. I know, very confusing, but just bear with me. So in terms of the symbol, the green symbol that's pointing down, with a line through it like this is going to be Earth. So let me actually just interact with this. So the green symbol pointing down is going to be Earth. If I spin it over here, the green, the triangle pointing up with the line through is going to be air. Triangle pointing down is going to be water. Triangle pointing up is going to be fire. I'll throw a picture up on screen that you can see that I found online of the zodiac signs as well as the elements. This is actually something posted over on the Reddit as well. And so this will probably help you out. Just you can screenshot that or whatever. And so you got the elements and you got the zodiac symbols. Now, depending on which, I'm actually going to just back out of here real quick. Because if you're in it too long, you might have to flip around if you, it's kind of like the computer over on Terminus. Anyways, so there's a few different combinations that we're going to have. So for example, if we have the horns, it's going to be fire and it's going to be Aries, if I'm pronouncing that right. And again, you can take a look at the astrology symbols up on screen. I'll throw it up on screen. It should be up on screen. So if you get the horns, it should be fire and Aries. If you get the antlers, it's fire and Leo. I've actually had that in a different game and then I died. Anyways, if you get the raven skulls, it's going to be air and Gemini. If you get the rockfish, it's going to be water plus Pisces. If you get the rock scorpion, it's going to be water plus Scorpio. And if you get the jaw, it's going to be fire from Leo. In terms of, there's one called the rock, I guess, Symbolus or something like that. People are not 100% sure what that one is going to be. They think it's going to be air plus Libra. But anyways, I'll tell you guys exactly what they are in the comment section below. I'm going to leave a pinned comment. So I'm going to update that pinned comment if for some reason any of these end up being wrong. But for the most part, I think they're all right except the rock Symbolus one or whatever it's called. So that's the only one that people are unsure if that's air plus Libra. So I believe what this is a horn. So that should be fire plus Aries. I'm going to try that. And boom. Okay, so it's fire plus Aries. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attract these orbs to kind of come into this little portal here. Now, if these orbs touch me, and great, of course, we have a special zombie. It always happens like this, don't it? So if the orb does touch you, it's going to kill you. So just be careful of that. It'll hurt you, and that's not going to be good. The orb is actually still going to be attracted to you, even if you're in the Aether Shroud, but the zombies aren't, so that's good. And thankfully, I have a teammate with me. My son's helping me out here, so I'm just going to bring the orbs kind of in here, and then eventually, what's going to happen is that orb is going to move, and it's going upstairs. I'm going to go out this way, just because it's a little bit safer. And what you can see is now that now on the second floor, there's going to be a portal here. It could actually be over there as well. And so again, we're going to be attracting these orbs into this portal here. Again, I know this is a little bit of chaos. I think you need like 4 of these. Was that 4? Yeah, I think that was 4. And then it's going to go upstairs. And upstairs is very small. So it's going to go into the floor up here. And then again, we're just going to kind of hang out here. Now, obviously, I think I'm the only one who needs to be here. But either way, we're going to keep a couple zombies alive. Yeah, so the orbs are attracted to me since I'm the one who initiated it. So if my teammate keeps a zombie alive, I think there was like 2 that went in there. I think this is up to 3. No, that must have been... That's 3 or 4. Nonetheless, it's 3 or 4. And you're going to see that once you're done, the orb is going to make its way all the way back downstairs slowly. There it goes. Yep, there it goes. And it's going to go into the wall here. Into the sword. So boom, it's going to power up. We're just going to interact with it. Once we interact with it, it's going to go ahead. The sword's going to get sucked into the ether. And it's going to come back out. And you got your Balmung. Balmung? Whatever, how you pronounce it. Which is going to be the ether sword, I guess. The dark ether sword. Which, honestly, is probably one of the cooler looking ones. And probably the best ones. I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like when you use the power-up once we get a couple zombies here. But that said, again, I will leave a pinned comment down in the description below with all of the all the list of the different combinations depending on which bone you have and what what element and which zodiac sign you're going to want. So if I use my ability, you can see it tears like a split in the ether, and it kind of acts sort of like and again, if you jump into it, it's going to sort of teleport you. It kind of acts like the Casimir device, so very similar to that, and it's really cool. So I think it's one of the cooler ones for sure. But there you guys have it. That's going to be the fourth and final sword. All right, so we're going to be doing this in no specific order, but with the Ravenclaw, we're going to be upgrading this one first. We're going to be going to the Pack-a-Punch room, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into the little kind of tunnel system here, the cave slide, if you will. So we're going to go into the cave slide. At the very end, you should see this massive bird just kind of chilling. I don't know. Some people say it's a crow. I don't think it's a crow. Maybe it's a crow. It's a raven. Okay, yeah, it's not a crow, it's a raven. Very ominous. So you're going to shoot the crow, sorry, the raven, whatever, same thing. And we're going to go over to the Deadshot Daiquiri area, which is actually on the opposite side of the spawn area. So go from the spawn area, you're going to be going over to the left side over there. So there should be a raven flying around if you look at the Deadshot area. And you're going to go ahead, you're going to shoot it, as you've seen. And you can see this, like, purple essence kind of flying right here. Boom, it just dropped on the ground. It's going to be the Raven's Talon. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pick up the Raven's Talon, and we can go ahead and do the next step of the kind of Dark Void incantation, if you will. So we're going to pick that. We're going to be going to the Undercroft. Okay, so going from the Pack-a-Punch room right here, we're actually going to be going into this room over here. This is where the Undercroft is going to be. It's kind of like this room with like all this water. We're going to interact with the symbol right here. The Talon is going to go on the ground, and basically what we're going to be doing is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get zombie kills in this area. I think it has to be with the sword. No, it doesn't have to be the sword. Never mind. It can be with anything. So you can go ahead, get some zombie kills. Either way, it's more fun with the sword. We're going to go ahead. We're going to fill it up. You're going to see it's going to spawn this chest. I'm going to smack the chest. I'm going to take the Dark Incantation so we can move on to the next sword. Okay, so next up we're going to be doing the Fire Sword Incantation, and to do this there's going to be 3 different sort of stacks of wood that we're going to have to light up with our special with our Fire Sword. So there's going to be one right here, right there above Speed Cola on this side of the castle. If you go over to the castle over here, there's going to be one right on top of the castle up there that you can, like right in the middle there. You can only see from up there on the cannon. I'll show you guys in just a second. And one is going to be on the kind of area right above Elemental Pop. So let me kind of make my way up here and I'll show you guys both of these locations. A little bit easier to show you guys once we're over kind of in this area. So again, from here you can see the one in the middle. When I come up to the cannon up here, you can see the stack of wood is right there, and then the one over Elemental Pop you can see is literally right there. And so I can't do anything like that, but if I use my special... Alright, so I got my super again. I'm going to aim a little bit lower this time, and I'm going to use my super. Boom, there you go. You can see it lit up. That's going to be the first one. And again, I got 2 more to do. Get my super again. Alright, then we're going to shoot the second one right here. That's going to be the second one lit up. So you can see I have 2. I'm going to get another super. Alright, then the last one, again, is going to be over here on Speed Cola. So I'm going to go ahead and going to super it up right there. There we go. That is going to be the third one done. And we're going to see a bunch of fireballs again raining down. And it's going to spawn one of these guys right here. Special doppel, whatever the heck they're called, the new enemy. Once you kill that, it's going to drop, well, not Sentry Turret. It's going to drop Roz Ank. I don't know. Roz Ant? No, I have no idea how to say it. You're going to pick up with that, and that's going to be our special kind of key item that we're going to have to use for the incantation ritual. So right here in the courtyard, that's kind of just right here, right above where Speed Cola is. We're just going to put it right there, and we're just going to get a bunch of zombie kills right around it, as we did previously. Alright, so once it's done, it's going to spawn a chest. You're going to smack the chest with the sword. It's going to spawn a fire incantation in here, and you can see that we now have that. And that is going to be another one done. Alright, so next up we're going to be doing the lightning sword, or the stag, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be going down to the Deadshot Daiquiri area, which is going to be right over here. And when we're in the Deadshot Daiquiri area, there's going to be a horseshoe that we're going to be looking for, and we're going to be shooting it down. I'll show you guys exactly where it is. So going from Deadshot Daiquiri, when we enter the stables right here, this is where the mystery box be. If we look right above here, you can see the horseshoe just kind of dangling right there. Well, not dangling, it's just kind of up there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab that. That's going to be our artifact that we're going to be needing. Then from here, we're going to be going up to the cannon, and we're going to be shooting ourselves to spawn. So just let me make my way all the way up to the cannon. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to basically shoot myself out of the cannon. You just interact with the cannon. That's pretty much it. And you can see that it basically triggered this whole storm kind of thing. So you see that I found the quest item here, another quest item. I just looked for the storm, and the storm, for my case, was right here by the Deadshot Daiquiri area. Spawned a bunch of zombies right here. And you can see if I open this up, I got my ritual items. All right, so you can see that in spawn, then you're going to have the rune on the ground here. We're just going to go ahead and interact with it and start this incantation. Again, this is in the spawn area. We spawn right here. It's literally right there to the left. Very, very, very easy to find. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do again, we're going to kill zombies to fill up the kind of thing. So once we're done, we're going to get the chest that spawns again. We're going to go ahead, we're going to smack it. We got the electric incantation that is now here, and we only have one more to go. All right, so for the sun or light sword, basically the lion sword, this one's going to be easy. We're going to be right here in this room, and we're going to be shooting this crystal. So if we shoot it kind of to the right side of it, you can see it's going to kind of shoot it's going to emanate the light elsewhere. And so what we want to do is basically move this crystal to the left. So I'm going to shoot it from this side to move it over to the left. So again, you can see it moved over. It's going to lock into this crystal over here. Now this crystal, we want to lock it up with a different one. So we're gonna turn it again. It's going to lock with this one. We're going to shoot it right here. It's going to lock into over here, and then we're going to shoot this one to the right there twice. It's going to lock into this one. We're going to shoot this one to the left twice. So I'm going to shoot this one more time, and then it's going to go right here, and we're going to be getting our item that's going to spawn right here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab it. It's the Paladin's Brooch. Once we grab that and come back into the sword room right here on the ground, we're going to go and interact with that, and we're going to kill a bunch of zombies around this area again, as you know. Perfect. So once we are done, we're going to go ahead, we're going to smack the chest with our sword. We're going to have the light incantation now, and that's going to be the fourth and final sword incantation upgraded. All right, so once we got all the incantations done, the next step we're going to be doing is we're going to go up here and we're going to be grabbing Melee Macchiato. Once we grab Melee Macchiato, we're going to be heading down to the very, very basement area, the Pack-a-Punch area, the next room, the Undercroft. So let me just make my way over there right now. Once I'm down here in this room right here, there's going to be this wall right back here. We're just going to go ahead. Not this wall, on the other side. When we go over to this wall over here, you can see the wall is breakable. And let me just actually turn, there you go. Let me melee it. And then we got a bunch of runes on the wall. Now, we're going to have to enter these runes in a very, very, very specific order. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're going to be doing to find these runes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to teleport from the other room to go back to the spawn area, because the runes in the order that we're going to need them in is going to be in the tavern in the spawn area. So the quickest way to get there is just through this slide. We're going to go through the slide. It's going to plop us right outside the tavern. And once we get to the tavern, there's going to be 6 little like vases with Roman numerals on them. Okay, so there's going to be one right here, and this is actually going to be number 2. We're going to press square on it, and we can see the actual symbol that pops up. There's going to be one right here. There's going to be number 5 in our order. One's going to be here. This is actually going to be number 1. So there's going to be 1. This is going to be 2. Over here is going to be 3. So we're going to activate this. It's going to be number 3. Again, keep in mind this is 5. 4 is actually upstairs. Right up here, we're going to activate 4. If we go downstairs over here, this is going to be number 6. So we have 6 different ones, and there's symbols on them, as you guys can see, that we have to activate in order. So these are the symbols we have to activate in order based on their Roman numerals. So take screenshots, write them down, or have a teammate kind of explain them to you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take screenshots of them myself one by one, and then I'm going to go ahead and input them back in that other kind of rune area. All right, so when we're back to the wall with the runes on them, we're going to shoot them in order. So my first one was this one here. I'm going to shoot that one. It's going to do all this crazy, funky stuff. My second one is going to be this one right here. So it's going to do some more crazy stuff. My third one is going to be this one right here. So I'm going to shoot that one next. Again, I took screenshots of this to make it a little bit easier. My fourth one is going to be this one right here. So that's going to be that. My fifth one should be just the open circle like that, which I don't know if these are the same in every single game, actually, to be honest with you guys. It looks familiar. Hold on, it's going to flip again. My sixth one, where's my sixth one? I'm not, right there. So there's my sixth one. I'm going to shoot that one. All right, so I did it again. The first time it didn't work. I have no idea what I did wrong the first time because I just did the exact same thing a second time. And this time it worked for me, thankfully. So when it does that, it's going to open up this book right here. Our book is accessible, but now we got to find pages. Now, there's going to be multiple pages we're going to have to input into this book, but I'll show you guys where we can find these pages. So when we come into the stamina room here, you can see all these pages that have like symbols on them. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. It's going to be torn page number 1. And again, their spawns seem to be a little bit random. There's going to be a second one right here. We're just going to look around this room and try to find all the pages that are there. So there's going to be a third one right here. Sometimes there's actually one chilling right here on the TV, but there's not. There's going to be a fourth one right here. That's going to be 4 torn pages. And once we find 4 of the pages, we're going to go ahead, and if we actually open up our menu here, it shows page fragments, and it shows the Roman numeral 4, and that's how we know that we have the 4 pages. We're going to go back down to this area here. So we're going back to this location here, to the book. We're going to go up to the book right here. We're going to interact with the book. Now all 4 pages are going to be in the book, and you can see there's a top left, top right, bottom right, and we're going to have to keep in mind these symbols for a very specific reason. So when we go around the map, you can actually see that there's these symbols right here on the ground, right? There's these, basically there are these traps, and we have to interact with these traps and kill zombies within the middle of these traps with our sword in a very specific order. And again, the order is going to be top left to bottom left, top right to bottom right. Now, for me, my top left symbol was actually going to be this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and going to activate this, and I'm going to start getting zombie kills in the middle of this trap, just like that. That is going to be the first one done, just like that. If I actually go back to the book, you can see that the top left corner one is gone. So we got to go look for the bottom left corner now, which is an eye that kind of looks sort of like a sun. And again, it doesn't matter what sword you have, as long as you're killing the zombies with the sword, of course. Just like that. And then again, that's going to be done. That's going to be the second one done. And we go ahead and move on to the third location. So for me, the third location is going to be right here. Now, again, we're going top left, top right, bottom right. So I'm going to be activating this one right here. And again, I'm going to be getting some zombie kills within the middle of this trap right here. All right, so that's going to be the third one done. The fourth and the final one, which again is going to be the bottom right of the page for whatever it is for you. Again, it's going to be different for me, and it's going to be different for you every single game, most likely. Okay, so the final one for us is going to be right here. So we're going to activate it. We're going to shoot it. And again, you're looking for whatever is kind of lit up red, specifically, because you can see that like there's these spiky things, but yet my fourth one is just a perfect round circle, but the red lit up part itself around it looked like that design, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the red. All right, so we got the final one complete. You can see there's going to be like a little red orb that kind of spawns out of it, and the red orb is going to kind of go and do its thing. We're going to go ahead, we're going to follow it. I'm going to try not to die if I can. Red orb just goes into the wall over here, and we can see we have all of the elements on the wall. All right, guys, so the way this is going to work is we're going to have an order here, right? This one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see there's Roman numerals beside them. We're going to have to hit them in that order. So for me, it's going to be the deer, the lion, the raven, and then the dragon. And so what we're going to be doing to hit them in a specific order is we're going to use a specific incantation. I already did it with this one. So for the deer, I'm going to take the sword. I'm going to be inspecting the sword, and I'm going to grab the incantation. So you can see there's actually, for the deer, the electric incantation is going to be here. There's a deer mural up there indicating that this is the deer incantation. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to use my incantation with the L1, and then I'm going to inspect the sword. So to inspect the sword, we hold left on the D-pad, and then we just kind of inspect it. And then it should make the statue glow. So that once we're done that, we're going to be done that one, and I can move on to the second one. It's going to be the lion. So I'm going to grab the lion one, and again, you can see there's the dragon incantation, the lion incantation, and the raven incantation. So I'm going to grab this incantation here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to melee this one right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to inspect my my sword here, if I can. There we go. I inspected my sword, and then you can see that the statue is going to react to it, and it's going to glow. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put sword back in there. My third one is going to be the Raven. So I'm going to grab the Raven one. I'm going to grab the Raven incantation. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to L1 it with my incantation. I'm going to inspect my sword once again. And you're going to see, if I don't die here, you're going to see once I've done the inspection, it should, yeah, so he's saluting me now, and now he's going to glow. Yeah, there you go. So he's glowing, and so that one's done. Give me 1 second here so I just don't die. It's kind of hectic here. I'm going to put this back here. So my fourth one is going to be over here, which is going to be the dragon. So I'm going to grab the dragon sword. I'm going to grab the dragon incantation. I'm going to go over to the dragon statue. I'm going to L1 it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to inspect my sword. So I'm inspecting my sword once again. And they all have different inspections. Okay, well, that's not good. Once I'm done that, it should... Again, you can see them. He's going to salute me. And then that's pretty much that. I did get downed, but we're done all 4 of these statues. And we can move on to the next step. And you can see, again, the light is going to come down. And it's going to create this kind of mystical orb, if you will. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to grab this mystic orb. And now what this is going to do is it's going to kill me again. And it's going to allow us to do these kind of trials around the map. So let me just get set up, and I'll show you guys exactly what that entails. All right, so once we have the mystic orb, we're going to be doing all these different trials. There's going to be one trial right out here, right by the arsenal machine in the main courtyard. You can see it's like this little kind of thing right here. You're going to see them scattered across the map. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be inserting the orb into this thing right here. And we can go ahead and start elemental trial. So this elemental trial is showing that it's fire. There we go. We can see the zombie souls going in as I get kills with this corresponding sword. So you can see exactly how that works. So I'm just going to keep getting kills until the orb is powered up. Alright, so once the orb is done, I can go ahead and pick it up back out of that spot. And we can move on to the next trial. Alright, so for the next orb, it's going to be right across from Vulture Aid right here. And you can see that I placed it on the wall right up there. So we got the second one done. It was chaotic. And I mean, it's just pretty much, again, you're following the elemental orbs, right? You're getting kills with that element. You're going back to the mystic orb to see when you can pick it up. Once you can pick it up, that means the trial is done. And you can move on to the next one. So the third location, again, you can do this in any order, is going to be down here in the Undercroft. I'm going to go ahead and place it right there. Again, this is the Undercroft. The Pack Punch room is over there. You should know exactly where we kind of are by now. And so, again, we're just going to sort of start the Elemental Challenge. This one's actually going to be purple. So whoever is the Void Sword is going to have to come down here and get some kills. Now, I might be able to also use the Incantation. I don't know. I'm going to try. Yeah, so I can use the Incantation as well. That'll also work. So even though I don't have the sword, using that Incantation does fill up the elemental kind of thing, if you will. Okay, and that is going to be the third one done, as you guys seen. And we go ahead and move on to the fourth and final one. Okay, so for the fourth and final location, we're going to be going into spawn. And on the left side towards Deadshot Daiquiri, right here in the wall, we're going to go ahead, we're going to place an orb, we're going to start the Elemental Challenge. And we're going to see what color it gives us today, which I believe is light. Okay, so once you get... So this one's like, we get, I guess, Electric Incantation. And then we get kills with it. Very, very hard to kind of understand. But anyways, we're just going to get it done. We're going to keep chipping away at it. And there we go. We are done. The fourth one. We can go ahead. We can take the Mystic Orb back out of the pedestal and move on to the next part. All right, guys. So the next thing you're going to want to do is go from the statue room. And we're going to be going back to that kind of room where we've seen the order of the statues that we had to kind of hit. So it's going to be through the alchemy room, if you will. We're going to be heading straight through here. I'm just going to dodge that guy. We're going to be going down here. We're going to place our orb right in here. And then what's going to happen is it's going to play this like recording, if you will. Let's just go ahead and kind of skip that through real quick. And we're going to be able to get this key, which is going to allow us to start the boss fight. So we can pick up the key. It's not going to start the boss fight yet because we do got to go to the spawn room. But I'm going to go inside of this secret room here. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab this. And this is going to spawn this whole kind of like cutscene, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skip through this. Don't want to show you guys too much here. That said, do make sure you pick up this Guardian key that's right there. You have to have the Guardian key, so pick that up. All right, so once you got the Guardian Key and that whole cutscene ends, we're basically ready to go start the boss fight. To do that, we're going to be going to the spawn area, and we're going to be going up to this statue, and there's kind of a key slot right there we're going to put the key into. Obviously, make sure that you're ready. I would bring like a mutant injection and whatever. You cannot bring a chopper gunner because we're going to be in like a cave, a cavern, and whatever, so you're going to want stuff like, you know, sentry turrets or mutant injections. I would just go with the mutant injection, so go ahead and trigger that. Make sure you have everything that you need. Make sure everybody has a sword first and foremost. Make sure everybody has the perks that you want. You know how to be set up by this point, right? You want obviously gold tier weapons if you can. You know, if you can do triple pack a bunch, that's ideal. Whatever you can get to go. You know, Casimir grenades are not a bad idea. I would definitely bring those. You know, if you want, or anything to distract like ads, because there's going to be a bunch of ads spawning as well. There's going to be a lot of lava, a lot of fire that's going to be thrown around at you. There is going to be an ammo crate in the middle here. There's also going to be incantation chests all around this kind of center area, and the boss is huge. He's going to be throwing these kind of big hammer strikes at you, and if he hits you with it, you're going to see at one point, I think I have it in this footage, that he can one-shot you. I went down way too much. It's not even funny, but he can one-shot you if he slams you with that big kind of hammer strike. It's basically gonna when he strikes the ground, it'll send like a shockwave of kind of fire in your direction, and that's how he's going to be kind of acting in this first phase. Eventually, later on in the later phases, he's going to kind of start jumping to certain locations, but as of this phase right now, that's kind of what he's doing. He's kind of moving around. There's going to be a bunch of ads and whatever. You can do damage at any point. Now, what you're going to be actually looking for, it took us a while to figure this out, is you're going to be looking for shooting him wherever you see kind of like blue numbers pop up. So if they're white numbers, it's kind of like weak spot, or not weak spots, they're like strong spots. So you don't want to shoot the places that have white numbers. You want to shoot the parts that have like this kind of baby blue number that kind of pops up. You've seen it for a split second there. Also, that's where you get hit by the hammer. You can see if you get hit by it, it's going to annihilate you. So you're going to be shooting wherever there's going to be blue stuff, because that's sort of like armor that he has, and the more you shoot it, eventually that armor is going to break off and it's going to expose an actual weak point where you could then do critical damage to him, where you're getting like the yellow numbers kind of popping up on screen. So that's kind of the gist of the whole boss fight pretty much, except there's going to be different waves. You know, 3 main waves are going to be taking place. That, you know, there's going to be a couple subtle changes, but that's going to be the main mechanic for most of this. Now, at some point, I mean, you're going to do a bunch of damage, you know, clear the ads out, whatever, and at some point, once you do enough damage to him, he's going to kind of sort of go in the middle, and he's going to kind of put his hammer down, and he's going to just kind of be immune, and he's not going to do anything, but there's going to be a bunch of ads that spawn. You could have those elites and those new special zombies, which I always forget what they're called. I just call them ghastlies, because why not? I love Pokemon, so it works. But you know, the two-headed freaky zombies, those will spawn. The amalgams, or however you pronounce them, they're gonna spawn as well. So do be wary of that. You know, that's why, you know, you got to be careful. You want to use those incantations. You can use your sword, whatever, and all the good stuff. So kind of keep doing that. Again, after a while, once you clear a bunch of ads, eventually he's gonna kind of break out of that sort of stance, and there's going to be a second wave of damage. But this time he's going to basically cover the outside area in more lava, so it's going to kind of pull you in a little tighter. The arena is going to get a little tighter, and then you're going to just rinse and repeat exactly what I said before. So you're going to do damage to the kind of the blue areas to pop whatever his shields, essentially, until you get those crit damages, crit spots exposed, and you'll know the crit spots are going to be, you know, glowing kind of like bright orange and whatever. And so you're gonna, you know, do damage to those crit spots. Again, rinse and repeat. Just kind of watch the ads, and then again, at some point, he's gonna go do his little kind of stance thing in the middle. A bunch of ads are gonna spawn. You're gonna keep clearing ads until he's done. He's gonna again tighten the kind of arena up a little bit, where it's gonna be a little bit more tighter, more kind of lava on the outside, you know, areas. And then once you've cleared enough ads, again, he's going to start, like I said, he's going to start moving around again. And at this point, this should be the final kind of time. And again, you're just going to rinse and repeat. Now, at some point, I think it's in the second or third wave, he's going to start kind of like jumping to random locations. You'll see like these kind of like random red rings appear on the ground. That's kind of warning you like, hey, he's about to jump into this location. So make sure you're not standing around there. It's also worth noting that after he does those kind of stance things, every time you clear a wave of enemies, of adds, and he breaks out of that stance, there will be a max ammo that spawns as well. But like I said, there is that ammo crate if you need it also. So that's pretty much going to be it. And then you're going to do like that final wave until he's dead, and you know, rinse and repeat. It's pretty much the same mechanic. It's not too difficult to kind of get the hang of, which I like simple boss fights sometimes. So that's going to be pretty much it. And when you've actually destroyed him, look for the little kind of amulet, if you will. You got to walk up to it. You got to interact with it. You got to basically grab it, and then the cutscene is going to trigger, and that's going to be it. You're going to be done the Easter egg. Congratulations, you've beaten the Easter egg in Citadelle des Morts. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe for more, and enjoy the cutscene. I'm not going to play it, but I do have the cutscene in a separate video if you want to see that on my channel. So until the next one, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.
Hey you! What are you doing? Join the skeleton army! Do it today! Don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow might never come. The earth is gonna fade, that's inevitable. The next second of your life's not even promised, so you better think about where you're going, and you might as well just join the skeleton army. Plus, we do kinda like you a little bit, so it'd be nice to see you around here. But if you don't want to, hey, your loss. See you later.